Good morning, YouTube. It is Monday morning, October the 21st, 2019. And for today's video, we're going to be doing a list, my list, of my top 10 favorite classic rock songs of all time. These are songs that are going to span from, the late 60s, mid to late 60s, probably till about 1991 or so as the cutoff. So we'll go through here, and hopefully this is fun. Maybe we'll do some honorable mentions at the end. There's always plenty of good stuff that either, almost made the cut, but at the last minute I changed my mind. With a couple of these, I had to do that as I was putting this list together. So, we'll talk about that after we get done going through the list. Okay, so coming in at number 10, we have the Allman Brothers with Whip Post. This is probably my all-time favorite song by them. That bluesy rock kind of a sound with the guitars and everything, and just the lyrics are great, and it's just always been a favorite of mine. Really great bluesy rock song by them. So coming in at number 9, from the Yes album, Yours Is No Disgrace. At 9 minutes and 40-something seconds. It's a long song, which it will not be alone on this list. John Anderson on the vocals. I just love it. The message of the song, and everything that it's about, and it's just quintessential Yes. From the early years, and it's always been one of my favorite songs to listen to. And a nice long song, a lot of energy there, and it's always for years been my favorite Yes song. Coming in at number 8, I knew I was going to put a Styx song on here because they're one of my favorite bands, and obviously for a favorite song, it came down. There were a few choices off of the Grand Illusion album. Actually, the Grand Illusion, it was kind of came between the Grand Illusion and this one here. And at the very end, I just decided to go with "Come Sail Away." I like how that song builds up and the energy in that song, and it starts off kind of calm, and then to carry on, and then you get the bow, 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 bow. I love the energy in that song with the guitars, and John Panazzo on the drums, and what a great song with a lot of energy. Dennis just really singing it out, and such a great song. That album, Grand Illusion as a whole is just a really great album from cover to cover. There's even some deep cuts on there that I listen to on a regular basis. So that's the one I decided to go with here. Coming in at number 7. No list of mine would be complete without a song from Ted Nugent, so we're of course going to go with Stranglehold. The lyrics kind of crack me up. Kind of have to have a sense of humor. If you have a sense of humor, kind of like Ted has, you get the lyrics. It's funny. It's just silly lyrics, but that guitar, the guitar work, the solo in the middle of the song, and the drumming, and Derek St. Holmes' powerful vocals in that song, and just that guy's range. I mean, even today, that man can still fucking sing. So I love that song. One of my favorites from Ted Nugent. So coming in at number 6, it's the long one from The Who. We're Not Gonna Take It. That's that 3-parter. And as far as The Who, it was a little hard to pick that one out because, I again, like with some of the other artists, I had some other ones, and it was kind of a last-minute decision. I said, you know what? We're going to put this one on the list because this one, you could go with, what's it, Love Rain on Me, or you could go with Bob O'Reilly, or Who Are You? But you know what? They you hear those songs all the time. This one here, We're Not Going to Take It with the See Me, Feel Me, and they get into Listening to You. It's a nice long one, Love long songs, especially when they group them up into different parts like that. That's pretty awesome. Always been a great song. A favorite of mine for sure. Coming in at number 5. This one here, another fairly long song. It's 7 minutes and almost, I think it's 7 minutes and 48 seconds. Clocks in at two-parter, four-play long time from Boston from that self-titled debut. I love the energy of the first part of that song. It's just, you get the volume knob and it's like Spinal Tap. Crank the frickin' volume knob up to 11. You can't play that one loud enough in the beginning. And they're just rocking it out in the beginning with the guitars and the drums and everything. And then you have that bridge in the middle where it's real quiet, and then they go into the long time part. You know, and of course, Brad singing, and the guitar work is great. It's real solid. And then you have a little bit of a guitar solo getting towards the end of that song, and then you get to the end, at the 7-minute mark. That's just, that song is just full of energy, and I've loved that song ever since I heard it for the first time. So let me jack that chair up a little bit. It's a little low here. So anyway, that would be my choice for number 5. Coming in at number 4. No list would be complete without a song from Pink Floyd. So obviously we got to go Comfortably Numb, man. That guitar solo at the end gets me every time. The volume knob goes as loud as it can go. I'll push it right till my amp starts to distort. And you know what? Fuck the hearing loss. You know what? That guitar, that guitar solo is great. Yeah. I usually turn it down. I don't have any real hearing loss from the music, but I'll tell you what, that's just one of those songs you can't play loud enough. The guitar work is great. Probably I would have to say, aside from Mother, I would have to say it's the best song off of The Wall, without a doubt. Mother's my other favorite one off of that, and there's a few others that I like on there too, that aren't overplayed on the radio, like Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, of course. Coming in at number 3. It takes me back to 1987. This one I heard, when I was a kid. My sister brought this cassette home. I think her boyfriend had it at the time. I had mentioned I have an older sister, and she was in high school, and I always hung around my older sister. And, I got a hold of this cassette, and I just started playing it one night, and I said to Mom, at the time, as I was a kid, I said, I gotta get this album. And it was Whitesnake's album from 1987. And I had just heard the song Still of the Night. And, to this day, it's got energy, it's got Coverdale screaming at the frickin' top of his lungs, at the peak of his career. John Sykes on there, man. The frickin' drums are incredible. It has energy. It's just a strong song. It's got all kinds of stuff going on there. And I'm going to tell you, that's hands down the best fucking Whitesnake song ever. History. I would definitely, Judgment Day would be in a close second, and we'll talk about Judgment Day in a little while. But I absolutely love Still of the Night. It's my favorite Whitesnake song of all time. Has been ever since the first time I heard it. Coming in at number 2. No list would be complete without a song from Led Zeppelin. Now, I'm sorry, but, Kashmir is not a favorite of mine. I went with Stairway to Heaven. I like how that song builds up. I like how that's broken down into sections. It's a long song, it's about 8 minutes. Or maybe even a couple seconds over 8 minutes. I think it's right around 8 minutes. But they, the song is, little sections, and they just start, rocking it out towards the end. And you know what? I've heard other people in the YouTube community say, oh, well, I won't bail. I'll listen to it all the way through. You better listen to it all the way through. That's how it is in my household anyway. I listen to that song anytime that comes on. I don't care if I'm at work. I don't care if I'm in the car. I don't care if I'm in the house. We listen to it all the way through. Even at work, the radio gets cranked up. I stop doing what I'm doing to crank the radio up when that song comes on. Just because, for the principle. That is a great song. That song is an anthem. You know, what a wonderful fucking song. And coming in at number one, um, from a band that should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame a long time ago. They keep getting snubbed every year. I can't believe it. Um, just a tremendous song, and it's "I'm Your Captain" by Grand Funk Railroad. They should have been again. They should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago, if for nothing else, for that song and that song alone. Um, that song holds close to the heart to a lot of people that came home from Vietnam, served in that war, that lived through that era. I'm a son of a Vietnam vet. I see my dad. I see my dad get goosebumps every time a song comes on. It gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. Yeah, and again, that's another one. It's one of those ones you crank it up every time it comes on. What a tremendous song! It's broken down into parts. It's incredible. So that is my list, my top 10 list. Some honorable mentions. Now we could look at some of these other bands here, and from Zeppelin, obviously Black Dog's a good song. Trampled Underfoot, it's a good song. Uh, Whitesnake. How about Judgment Day? How about Bad Boys? Give Me All Your Love. Standing in the Shadows. Slide It In. Really great song. How about the original versions of Here I Go Again and Crying in the Rain? For Floyd, for Pink Floyd. How about Shine On You Crazy Diamond? How about Wish You Were Here? And with Shine On You Crazy Diamond, how about, all 752 parts of it? Or however the hell many there are. It's lots of different parts. So, something a little later from them. How about Learning to Fly? That's a good song. How about Hey You? So many good ones. Mother. How about The Trial, man? How about The Trial on the Wall? That one at the end. That song, I always like that one. I crank it up when it's on. That's a neat song. From Boston, any track off of that first album. They're all good. How about Don't Look Back? How about Party? So many good ones. How about you want something a little later from the '80s? How about the song "We're Ready" off of the Third Stage album? You guys ought to take a listen to that album too if you like Boston. There's actually some good stuff on there. Amanda is not the only song on the album. I know you would think that if you listen to the radio because it's the only fucking song they play off that album. But "We're Ready" is a great song. The Who. Won't Get Fooled Again, man. Yeah, Pinball Wizard. Bob O'Reilly. Love Rain on Me. Who Are You? You Better You Bet. Can't Explain. So many good ones from The Who. From Nugent. Queen of the Forest. Wang Dang Sweet Poontang. Cat Scratch Fever. The list goes on and on. Little Miss Fucking Dangerous, man. That's a great song. From Styx, Fooling Yourself, The Angry Young Man, Man in the Wilderness, Superstars. God, the title track off the album, The Grand Illusion, it's great. Lorelei is a great song. Crystal Ball is a great song. Sweet Madam Blue. Mademoiselle, that song that Tommy sang, his first songs off on the first album he was on. Lady, Babe, Rockin' to Paradise. Too much time on my hands. You could go on and on and on. Love is the Ritual with Glenn Burtnick on vocals. That was on the Edge of the Century album. When Tommy had stepped away to get together with Jack and Ted and Michael Carloni and form Damn Yankees. So, and we could get into some Damn Yankees stuff here too. High Enough. That's a great fucking song. That whole album, that Damn Yankees album, is a great album. And then The follow-up album, the Don't Tread album, is a really great album. Guys should check that out. Those of you that like the music of Styx or Night Ranger or whatever, or even Ted's music, because Ted's obviously involved in that too. As far as Yes goes, so many from them. You could take pretty much any track off the Yes album. I've seen All Good People, and then, my goodness, then you get into the later period, the 90125 period. That's another one of my favorite albums to play in the car when I'm going to work, or even around here when I'm listening to it. So anyhow, and then you got the Allman Brothers band. Get you that what the hell is it? That best of CD. It's blue with the gold lettering. Pretty much anything on there from front to back. It's really good. And I could go on and on and on with this forever, but we're at 16 minutes right now, so I don't want this thing to take all day to upload. But basically, guys, this has been a lot of fun. Actually, this list, believe it or not, I salute anybody out there that does music related videos like this, or they talk about music, that can come up with a list like this. This is very hard to do. We didn't even really touch in on Genesis, another one of my favorite bands. And unlike some people out there that think Genesis was just the Peter Gabriel era or the early Phil Collins era, that stuff from the 70s that hardly anybody fucking listens to, I actually like the late 70s, early 80s era. Yes, they did make music beyond the Duke album. Abacab's a great fucking album. Genesis is a great fucking album. Invisible Touch is a great fucking album. I can't believe some of these other people. Oh, supper's ready. Yeah. Call me when the stuff on the fucking stovetop's done, and then supper's fucking ready. All right, enough of that. All right, the Genesis made good stuff in the '80s too. You got to have an open mind with that. But I'm not going to preach to you guys. So, yeah, and some of you may notice that Guns N' Roses did not make this list, even though Paradise City was probably one of my favorite songs of the 1980s. Had that album too. That was one of when I very first started collecting on cassette. It's one of the first ones I got. It would have made this list. However, it gets played so much on the radio now that I decided, you know what, enough is enough. We all like that song. It's a great anthem. I mean, I'll list it here as an honorable mention. But I'm just not going to, it didn't make my list today because, quite frankly, it gets overplayed too much. And there's some other material on this list that does not get played enough. And I just wanted to remind people, hey, these songs are classic rock songs. They've been classic rock songs. And you know what? These need recognition too. These were great songs too. And many of them I happen to like a lot more than Paradise City. Some of them I do like more, but some of them I like a lot more than Paradise City. So, at any rate, that's going to do it for this one, because we're getting close to 20 minutes here now. This thing's going to take forever to upload. Yeah, I thank you guys for watching. If you like videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for more exciting videos to come. You all have a great week, and we'll see you in the next video.